Hey, what's up guys? Welcome back to another PSO 2 video. So, from my last video, I stated that I'm going to start doing reviews to kind of help people figure out, what class would be great for them, as guides will be kind of in a sort of a back burner type of thing. So, today we're going to do a review of Hero. Now, I'm doing this because episode 5 is just a couple days away, so I may as well just help people who are on the fence about playing Hero, which shouldn't be a lot of people because everyone wants to be Hero. So I'm going to go over the skills real quick. If you want to check out the skill trees and like other demo stuff, I'm going to leave a card either here or right here somewhere. If I remember to put it here. If not, I'll put it in the end of the video so you guys can click on that. If you've already seen that video, thank you for watching that video. But we're just going to get into just a kind of review of how I like the game. Now keep in mind, because I'm probably going to get comments about this, these are my opinions, so your opinions on your own, mine are my own. Same thing with like weapons, gear, how sub palette works, or how my sub palette is, and everything like that. Just keep that in mind. Everyone has a different play style, everyone has a different way of playing the game, etc, etc. So with that, we'll just go over just the PAs, because there's a lot of questions that I've been getting in my previous videos about, using tags and using PAs and certain things like that. So we'll go ahead and get into that. So if you didn't already know, Hero, Etoile, Phantom, and the newly released Luster are what are called Scion classes, which will be called NA, and what JP calls successor classes. Now, these classes can't equip a subclass, but they can be used as subclasses per some, a couple of classes like Hunter and stuff like that are better suited for like Etoile and stuff like that. Certain classes can't be used as subclass. Like Hero, for example, cannot be used as subclass, and Luster is kind of skittish about, what it could be used as subclass, since its only weapon is a gun slash. But it has skills that could be used primarily for subclasses and stuff like that. So successor classes have a lot of main class only skills, which perpetuate the fact that they're better suited as being a standalone class. But they have a lot of augments that can help you as a subclass, like Ranger and Phantom, since Phantom uses rifles and stuff like that. Or for example, as Hunter subbing Etoile, you're going to have way more survivability than subbing Fighter and stuff like that. So you can mix and match your combos. So we're going to head to the class counter and I'll show you what can be subbed and what can't be subbed. So hang tight. Okay, so over here at the class counter, this will give you, an idea of what can be subbed with Hero and the other successor classes. So for example, if your main class happened to be Hero and you go to subclass, the classes that can't be used will just disappear, and as you can see, Hero just disappeared. So Hero can't really be used as a subclass. I mean, it's a pretty great class. I wouldn't say overpowered. In its heyday, it was pretty overpowered, I would say. As I used it when it first came out, and yeah, its skills were just too much overpowered. So keep that in mind. And as you can see, Phantom, Etoile, and Luster can definitely be subbed. Now, I did mention a little bit earlier that I said that Luster has some like subclass specific skills and stuff. If I can remember which ones they are, because they have a lot. Okay, so the sub Luster GS boost. So this really means if you just use a gun slash as your main class, so that could be a really good thing. But again, I'm not getting into Luster, that's for another time. So we're just going to go back to Hero real quick, and then I'll just show you some of the PAs that you'll be using as Hero. Now, another thing to note about Hero is that it cannot use standard PAs. So the Scion / successor classes get something called successor PAs. So we'll go ahead and just go over that real quick. So you have a list right here for your PAs. Every weapon class per successor class has 4 skills. Now you'll notice right here that there's a little icon, yellow or blue, or if you switch over, it'll be red, yellow, and if you go down, it'll be blue or red. So what these are is Hero is the only class that uses this, called switch PAs. So if you're using sword and you hold down flash trick, that will switch you over to your Talus. And then same for vapor bullet. You hold the skill down, it'll switch you over to your TMGs. Now Hero uses 3 weapons, as I just mentioned. They use swords, they use TMGs, and they use Taluses. They kind of use them kind of like shurikens, which is really cool. And their TMGs, they use them not like Gunner, because their TMGs are long range, so you don't have to be mid-range to do the maximum amount of damage, which is a great thing. Their normal attacks for TMGs does consume PP, and the weapon action is actually a reload. So if you do a just attack reload, you can reload faster. Now with swords, weapon action, it's going to be the aura bullet. Again, I'm not going to really get into much detail. If you want to see that, I placed a card towards the beginning, and then I'll most likely place it towards the end. And of course, Taluses have kind of like a teleport thing, which will help you get to really high ground to avoid a lot of enemies. I don't see it being very practical, just maybe like a novel, but it can have some applications for it. Now, Hero and Phantom are the only 2 successors that can actually use techniques. So if you have been working on crafting, like I've said previously, please work on your crafting. You should do that. Now, are they viable to use as techniques on your Taluses? I don't know. I've never really used techniques on Taluses, so I really can't, be the judge of that. I wouldn't see why they wouldn't be horrible at teching, but it's not something I see heroes do at all, really. I would really just work on, like, your support. Maybe your shift and D-band. Definitely Megiverse and Zanverse and Resta and Anti. I would say moreover just like a quick casted Megiverse to get your HP back up really fast while not having to hold down the key to throw up a Resta or trying to throw up a mate. Unless you have the skill for a quick mate, then go for it. But they have that versatility, that they can use tech. So if you run out of mates, you can still heal others, and get rid of status elements. So that's another good thing. Now for your weapon palette, I kind of overwrit mines for using Luster because I just was focusing on that. As you can see, I just changed all my icons. Instead of Luster time, it would be Hero time. Then I have Dark Blast, and then I'd have Shifted, D-Band, Resta, and Anti, and stuff like that, which are over here since I moved them over. And then I'd have Zanverse, and then Megiverse. So just some techs and some abilities to help you just stay in the fight and stuff like that. So I'm going to go ahead and switch to maybe a planet real quick so I can just show you the switch PAs and then give you, the final kind of overview, or the final review, I would say, of should you play Hero. I'm pretty sure you're going to know the answer, so hang tight, let me head down to a planet and I'll show you switch PAs. Okay, so now I'm going to just do a quick switch PA explanation and then give you, final thoughts and finally my review if you should play Hero or not. So as you can see on my palette right there, I have a standard attack, and then I believe that's brightness. No, it's not brightness, and I can't remember the name of the PAs, and then aura bullet. Again, I'm not going to showcase all the PAs, I'm just going to show you the switch PAs and stuff like that. So if you want to see the PAs, how they function and stuff, again, I'll leave the card somewhere. And just a quick one, because I'm kind of getting tired of people saying, the audio is too loud and the voices are too low, or etc. whatever. Just keep in mind, I'm just getting the hang of like editing and stuff like that. And it's not difficult, but as someone who hasn't edited in a while, I'm just getting back in that flow. So I apologize if the audio is just not how it should be, but hopefully you still enjoy the video likewise. Anyway, so when you're using set PA, normally you can just tap the button down and use it, but if you hold it down, again, you just switch over to the weapon, and then you always get kind of like a little jump back, or depending on what weapon you switch to, you jump forward. So if I use sword, I'll jump forward just a little bit, even though I just hit that button. And then TMGs is the same way. So you'll always get into kind of a position where you're trying to get into a range, you'll skip back a little bit, especially if you're using Vapor Bullet. You can go in any direction, as I'll show you real quick. So when you're using Vapor Bullet, you can go in any direction. So if you need to clear some distance from an enemy, you can just go back and then hold your button down. And by default, Vapor Bullet will go backwards. Now, just real quick for the TMGs, as you can see, the PP just going up slowly, but if I regularly attack, PP goes down. And then reload. So that's your action palette, just to reload. That's really good if you're like trying to use healing or anything like that, and you just want to get back in the action and you don't just want to attack enemies, because attacking enemies won't interfere with PP. Just using reload will. So just keep that in mind. So if I wanted to go to sword, which my other ability is not on here to show you the chalices, but if I wanted to go to sword, I would just hold the button down and instantly switch to sword. So you immediately do a quick attack, and then, you know, depending on the weapon you're switching to, just to kind of keep you in the action. Now, I do recommend using all three weapons. People I know are just going to use sword. I mean, you know, it's fine. You just want to use sword, but if they carry over the unlock requirements and stuff from JP, then you're going to need all three weapons. So, me personally, I like all three weapons. I mean, they're not bad weapons, and you know, I just would recommend it anyway. So, my final review on Hero is it a good successor class? Well, yeah, if you've never played them, they're going to be a terrific class to play with. Are they difficult? Again, if you've never played it, or you've never had any dealings with a successor class, yeah, they can be tricky. I wouldn't say any stretch of it means impossible, but it's all going to really depend on your gear. You know, if your gear is not, you know, not the best, or you just find stuff on the floor, grab it, equip it, and think that's going to hold you to level 90, no, you're just not going to do the damage. Your output's going to be horrible, and it's just not going to be good for you. So I would just recommend you just put some thought into gear, and you'll have a better, you know, that goes for every successor class, you know, and even the standard classes. The better gear you have, the better off you're going to do, especially with these classes, as they're specialized in their weapon types. I would say, you know, do some investing in gear. There's, like I said, there's lots of guides for augmented weapons and stuff like that. Take advantage of every urgent quest that comes up and stuff like that. So anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Just a couple more days and everyone will be playing Hero. So if you guys enjoyed the video, please like and subscribe. I'm going to do more reviews as time goes by. And of course, when episode 5 comes out, I'm going to hit episode 6, which there is so much to cover in episode 6. I just did the finale on episode 6, and oh man, there's too much to cover, which is good. That's content for you guys. So hope you guys enjoyed the video. Take care. Peace.